Alright, this is the Pufferfish PvP tutorial that I've spent so long procrastinating on. Shut up. Stop. No cough cough. So first, I'm just going to go over some basic tech involving sponges. So first, you've got the basic, you can place a sponge, pufferfish, and then you shoot it over. This is a pretty safe way to attack because you're able to distance yourself quite a bit from the sponge all the way to here. So a good defensive tactic is also just like this, and it's pretty hard for your opponent to get past this. You can even avoid using this as well. And then you can just, I didn't properly space it, but in theory, that is a good defensive tactic. Next, I'm going to go over some recently discovered tech by JessGen, where this is only going to be featured most likely in the high tier kit, but rail web pufferfish. See, now he's you would have to pearl out, which would also take away 3 hearts from you. So it's just a really efficient tactic for just trapping your opponents. See, now he's at 9 health, which very close to popping. So next, I don't really know much about this. It was mostly Jev and our previous top tiers that knew how to do like fishing rod tech, but I'll try my best to explain it. You're going to want to put your fishing rod in your hotbar, and basic, you can just pull them in to the pufferfish, and a little bit harder, you attach the fishing rod to the pufferfish, and you get quite a bit decent of knockback. And I know some of the people that were really good, you were able to like combo pufferfish, like you would drag the pufferfish towards them, and at the same time you would be putting this pufferfish where the knockback would send them. So now I'm going to be talking about healing. I'm going to be popping myself. So in a fight, when you get popped, well, of course you're going to immediately want to put on your next totem, but I would recommend you have 36 seconds of regeneration. This basically ensures that you're going to be pretty safe, unless you are stupid and fall into that. But now you've got basically full insurance for your health, and you won't need to heal up using your limited resource, which is the bread. So in this scenario, I personally would go full aggro, just managing your health correctly and making sure you don't get quick dropped using the regeneration too, because you can take quite a bit of damage. I just took 7 hearts, and the regeneration is going to bring me quite a bit back up if I didn't have it. Now, let's say your opponent is just got popped. Now, he's got the regeneration. Now, what I like to do in all of my duels is, most of the time, I like to run away. 40 seconds, yeah. I'd like to run away for the duration of how long they have regeneration, because unless I've got regeneration as well, it's not a good idea to engage, because you're not going to get that health back nearly as good as they are. So, I'd play defensive, make sure that they can't get near me while I make sure that I drain their regeneration effect, and once it's gone, then I'll just get back into fighting. So I just discovered this interesting tech while testing Sticc. If you hoe the ground, and then you place a pufferfish, what? Never mind, I did not. That is insane. In theory, what I thought would happen is this hoed ground would prevent pufferfish from leaving this area because of the slight block incline. You saw that, right? Back me up. It actually kept the pufferfish inside of the hoed ground, right? I'm not crazy. Shut up. No, I'm not. So, I'm gonna restart the round. So I'm gonna go over to ender pearls. This is a pretty valuable resource in some scenarios. However, in most cases, I rarely use them, simply because of the amount of damage that they do to you. It's simply not a great way of retreating unless absolutely necessary. So in some cases, I would say, let's say it's late game, and you've got the barrier around here. You can't really escape. Now's not the time to talk about your personal problems, Sticc. So, let's say it's late game, and the barrier is circling you. Let's say you're trapped. You're trapped like this. You can't really get out. You know, the barrier's got you stuck in here. There's pufferfish all around you. If you can find a clear path that you might be able to teleport to and then jump your opponent, I would recommend that because it's a way better strategy to pearl over to them than to walk through this most likely pufferfish infested area where they're probably set up, which is right here. So in theory I would go, and then I would probably build up at this point and then try to get a little extra damage and make sure that I wouldn't fall into this pufferfish infested water. Now with resource management. So as I said earlier, you get 40 seconds of regeneration when you are popped. So during this time, I would not recommend eating unless your hunger bar is exactly enough for the bread, because you don't really need to worry about regeneration at that point. So it's better just to conserve your bread while you have it. So, with that said, I don't think there is that much left to cover. I might make more. I might continue this in further detail if some other better or just as good pufferfish players help me with it. But this is just a simple one, just to get things going. So, thank you, Sticc.